Welcome to Hawthorne Hill Farm and Homestead. I'm Marilyn Cameron, and with the help of my husband Paul, we operate this lovely 46-acre farm property in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. Our children are grown and don't live with us anymore, but we still love this lifestyle and want to continue feeding ourselves. On our farm, we grow a wide array of market garden vegetables, berries, and orchard fruits, and garlic. Plus, we raise free-range hens for eggs, lots of meat birds in the summer. We have a flock of Shetland sheep for wool, and our newest addition to the farm is our family milk cow. Each week, we will post an episode that starts us off in the early spring and will continue until the late fall. We will show you all the things that we do on our farm to get ready for the growing season, how we care for our crops, how we raise our animals, how we make nutritional meals, bake bread, make cheese, pasta, preserves, and so much more. We hope that you will join us and will be inspired to try some new things that will help you become more self-sustaining and to fill your own larder. Thank you. When you have a lot of extra milk and it's a few days old and you need to find a place to use it, a great place to start is to make some butter. So I have 4-gallon jugs here from a few days old. We've got a nice cream line, an inch to an inch and a half cream on these jugs. And I'm going to ladle the cream into my blender. You could pretty much put 2 liters of cream in here. I might need a 5th. So, and I've got it. So if we have that, and we'll just start ladling. As you start getting down deeper into the cream line, as you're skimming the cream off, trying to make sure that you don't capture any of the milk. So the cream is quite a lovely, deep, antique white kind of color, slightly yellow and thick. And then the milk, you'll start to see that poking through in the center of your jar, and it's it's thinner and it's almost like a very pale gray color. And you don't want to get milk into your butter because then it won't quite blend and make butter as easily. Slide that over. When I have extra milk that's just many days old, it's a great instant food for the chickens. They love milk. My 40 chickens will drink a gallon, no problem, in a few hours. So we had some rhubarb, and I might have stolen a ladle of cream here and there. I love stewed rhubarb with cream on it. And this is jug 4. And we're dipping into the 5th jar of milk. It's 3 days old. So after you've got your cream in your blender, I'm going to pop the lid on. And put a cheese thermometer in. I need to get to 62 degrees, and then it'll be ready for blending. And you can help it along if you put it in a bowl and then put some magic bags, warmed magic bags, or some warm water around it. Right now the thermometer sits at around 40 Fahrenheit, so it has to come to 62, and then it will blend really lovely. So we're back to look at the butter temperature, and it looks like it is about 60 degrees, 61, 62, which is perfect. So now we'll pop that out of here. Okay. Close the lid tight. Okay. And let her rip. So we're about 1 minute in. You'll hear a sound change when the butter starts to separate from the buttermilk. Ah, you hear that? It's grinding down. There. You see this? Okay, so let's pop the lid. Have a look. Wow. So maybe a little bit more, and then we're going to rinse it. Just a little bit more. Oops. You'll see. See the patches of butter, and how loose and frothy it is. Let's look this time. See what it looks like. Ah, that's what you want right there. Okay. So put the lid back on, and I'm going to open this little notch here and drain that out, and then we're going to fill it with some cold water in the sink. Okay. So, if you wanted the buttermilk, you can certainly save it. And in this case, I'm just going to let it go today. Okay, let's pop that lid so we can look at that butter in there. Really nice. Okay, so now we're going to put some water in, cold water. A little, we'll rinse it. Okay. Put the lid back on. We'll put it back in the blender. I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds. Go. Drain it again. So we'll do one more quick rinse. 10 or 15 seconds. And we're going to drain that out. Don't lose any of the butter. Okay. There. Okay, so there's our butter in here. I'm going to take it out of here. I'm going to put it in this bowl and I'm going to put it in the fridge. I have to go and milk my cow. So I'll be back and we'll push the buttermilk out of that till it runs clear in a little while. So the butter's been in the fridge a couple of hours and now it's quite firm. And I'll take the plastic off and drain some of the liquid that's come off. Okay. And then we'll use a wooden spoon and just work by pushing it against the sides of the bowl to get the buttermilk out of it. And when you do push it, you can actually see some little beads of buttermilk kind of squirting out. Some people just hold it under really, really cold water in their hand and just rinse it that way. We don't have super cold water in our tap because it's not coming from a well. It's coming from the mountain, the brook, and it's pretty warm. So I'll just do it like this so I don't get my hands in it. It's a nice color. Not super yellow like you see sometimes in homemade butter. Just kind of almost like a store-bought butter. So I'm no expert at all. I'm just kind of learning and following some instructions from some other homesteaders. And I guess you want to kind of push it probably for 4 or 5 minutes, and then you might want to rinse it a couple of times. And then when the buttermilk or the water in it starts to go clear, that is maybe when you might be finished. And then you want to salt. I would put 1.5 teaspoons in this amount. I do like salty butter. Getting the buttermilk out of your butter will help prevent it from becoming rancid or going bad. So the buttermilk is much more easily contaminated, I guess, than the butter. I'm starting to feel like the fluid that's accumulating now at the bottom of the dish is like water. So 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and we'll do 1/2. There, let's see how that tastes. So just mix that in. This will draw out a little water too. We'll put it in our little dishes. I purchased a little set of these. Just drop the butter in.
So we got another 1.5 pounds. Every week we're doing probably at least 3 pounds of butter with all the extra milk. There's lots and lots of extra milk, but everybody's getting some. Chickens are getting some. We're drinking lots and lots, and yeah, that's good. Good morning. It's four, almost 5 weeks since Clarabelle's had her baby, and 10 days we milked colostrum off and fed it to the neighbor's pigs and the chickens. And after that, we started milking. So we've been milking a good little over 3 weeks. And she's just getting better and better. The calf is drinking more, and we're getting a little less milk each morning. But I thought I'd just show you how much she's come along over the past few weeks. Our little setup is first I wash her. I have some warm water here. The calf has pretty much drunk most of this quarter here, but I'll still give it a little wash. There. The calf doesn't drink much from the back quarters, so we usually get 1.5 gallons from there. Don't knock that over, Tuli. There. Okay, so we've washed each teat and the udder with a clean water. And I have a little stool to put the bucket on, stools to sit on. First thing you do is you squirt out 3 or 4 squirts per teat, just in case there's bacteria. There. So we had to put the calf out because she's pretty busy, knocking the camera down. I'll milk out the front under a little, but there's not much left in there for sure. So the back teats are fairly small. They're loaded with milk. There's probably 3/4 gallon in each quarter in the back. And I can squirt it out, but it's really just my thumb and my index finger is doing all the work. But she stands pretty good. Once in a while, she'll try to jump over the board. And if this continues, we'll put up another board so she can't get over it. And then she'll lean forward a little bit so she can reach some hay, but that's all that's left of her breakfast. I try to feed her before we get started so she settles down. She settles down pretty nice. The sheep want to come out and the calf is standing in their way. They'll all run out eventually. Hey, Julie. Oh, foot down, Clarabelle. That's it, girl. No, Julie, get out of here. Julie, you don't need to have any right now. You've already taken enough. I can really, like tell when the quarter is empty because it's so soft. And the nipple collapses and becomes quite wrinkly when the quarter is empty. And of course, milk doesn't come out as full. But sometimes they can hold back on letting down a little bit. And so you have to be really careful that they're not just holding off on you. The cream comes last and the milk comes first as a general rule. And you really need to strip out the quarter of the udder that you don't think the calf is drinking from. And I don't see any evidence ever of a calf drinking from either of the back quarters. So she's pretty much cleans out the front day and night now. which are unfortunately the easiest ones to milk because they're bigger, and the back ones are more of a 2-finger, a thumb and a 1-finger operation, but they're nice and soft and supple, and she doesn't mind. She gets a little impatient at the end, wants to lift her foot, but this bar here that we put in front of her legs at least keeps her back. So this udder is becoming really loose now. This quarter, there's not, much there, and the teat is kind of collapsing. There's only milk at the tip now instead of the whole teat. So she knows we're almost done. Stripping's important because you don't want to leave any milk in the glands so that it creates a really lovely atmosphere for bacterial growth. If she happened to lay in some manure or some dirt and there was pathogens in it, it could go up into her mammary gland. We do teat dip afterwards, the ones that I milk, because that can keep the bacteria out, help disinfect the tip of the teat. And you also want to get it all out because you are literally getting out the cream here. It's a cream that makes the Jersey milk so valuable for making butter and whatnot. And so we'll start on the other side. This nipple is kind of squishy and not distended at all. And that quarter, if you can see, it's pretty squishy. This quarter here is really tight. And this teat is really firm and distended and potentially could leak milk. Baby is sleeping. A thumb and 1 finger, there's not enough teat to wrap 2 fingers around, so it is just a 1-finger one. Unfortunately, it's a small teat, but anyway, you work with what you have. We'll put it in the bucket. And we'll teat dip the back two. She gets a little treat, carrots and apples after milking. Load up on water. We'll let them out. Here we go. Back, everybody. Back.